For more on what might come next, we're joined now by a CBS News contributor, retired General Frank McKenzie, a former commander of CENTCOM, which of course controls U.S. forces in the Middle East. General, thank you very much for being here. It is a confusing morning. Last night you have President Trump celebrating a ceasefire, a truce, and now this morning you have this apparently expletive-laden frustration from the president because it's been broken already. What do you make of it?
Well, I think the most important thing is the Iranians want to de-escalate. This war has not gone well from them. They've been substantively defeated in virtually everything they've tried, and so they want off. And I would argue that it's too soon to tell if this truce is going to hold. Iranian command and control has always been rickety, and over the last 12, 14 days, a lot of Iranian senior leadership has been killed. So it's not surprising that maybe Iranian forces in the field somewhere haven't gotten the word that the war has ended or the war is in a truce phase. So I would look to see what happens over the next 12 hours. I wouldn't be prepared to write this truce off just yet, but simply because of that.
General, I'm interested about the timing still of the U.S. strike on these Iranian nuclear installations. Why do you think it lined up for this to happen right now? As I understand it, prior administrations had prepared for this possibility. They had developed technology for it, but it happened to be right now, this moment, that the strike happens. Why?
Well, operationally, this was the perfect moment to execute the strike. Iran's air defenses have been significantly attrited. As we saw when the operation was executed, very little return fire, in fact, no return fire from the Iranians. So it was a very propitious moment operationally to do it, as well as strategically. Iran is very, very close to breakout. They may or may not have made a decision to do that. But I think the timing was actually pretty good in the largest sense.
But, you know, General, there's still no confirmation that this strike has eliminated the nuclear capabilities. Can we call it a success at this time?
Well, I agree with what the chairman said on Sunday. He said we severely degraded the Iranian nuclear program. Look, we'll know in the days and weeks ahead if the Iranians were able to evacuate material before the strike. The one thing about Iran is you always know what they're going to do because they're so significantly penetrated. And so we will eventually know where that material is. We'll know what happened. It may take us a few days to know that. It may turn out the material's there and we destroyed it. It may turn out that some of it was taken out. But we will know for sure in the days ahead.
General McKenzie, how would you advise the president on next steps, and could that include further military action?
I think the president's instinct to do the nuclear strike and then try to avoid further action is sound. I think it's very reasonable. I think the Iranian response was carefully calibrated and gave him room to maneuver. Had it been a larger strike and had Americans become casualties, then I think we'd be in a very different place right now. But we saw how President Trump, after the strike on al-Assad in January 2020, which caused no fatalities. It did cause some injuries, but no fatalities. We walked away from that conflict at that moment. I thought there's a very statesmanlike action then. I think this is mirrored in what you see now. So we have a real opportunity here to go forward. And I think we need to get over the next 12 hours, see if this truce holds, and see if there's actually the possibility to do that.
Okay, before you go, should Americans be concerned about possible attacks here on U.S. soil?
I think the Iranians are very unpredictable, and I think that we should be concerned about it. We shouldn't be driven by it, though. We just need to take precautions. I think it's hard for Iran to operate in the United States.
All right. All right, General McKenzie. Thank you very much for your time this morning.